time, weather, and...
Hello and welcome to Driving with Todd. And I'm Todd. Hello everyone. I've been watching this YouTube series. I think it was put out a couple of years ago by a YouTube channel called The 60s, The Girl Groups. And I think I'm on number 29, episode number 29. There's between 2 to 8 female vocalists in each one of the episodes. And mostly UK female vocalists as well, though there are some from the USA and Canada in this series also. One of the female vocalists that I've really gotten to find interesting is Julie Rogers. Now, I had never heard of Julie Rogers before, but she's got a great voice. She had a hit in 1964 in the UK called The Wedding, and it was a hit here in the United States as well in 1965. But that was about the only thing she really did over here in the US, though she was very popular in the UK. So I thought, I got to look this person up in Wikipedia and learn a little bit more about her. As I was reading, I learned that she did the original version of the song You Only Live Twice for the James Bond movie You Only Live Twice. The song is written by Leslie Bricusse and John Barry. And John Barry did some of the production, or did the production work with Julie Rogers on the song, and they had a 50-piece orchestra backing her up in the studio. When the song was done, now here's where I get different stories. I've read 2 different stories on this. When the song was done, John Barry really didn't like it that much. He didn't like the lyrics, and he wanted to rewrite the song, which he and Leslie did. But they were looking for someone else to actually record it, and they wanted it to be Frank Sinatra. Well, Frank declined, but said, hey, why don't you use my daughter, Nancy? She's, big right now, has quite a number of hits out in both the UK and the USA. And, of course, they used Nancy. Well, that was one story that I heard. Another story was that the people that were funding the money for the movie You Only Live Twice didn't like Julie Rogers' version. It wasn't dynamic enough. And they asked John Barry and Leslie to rewrite the song and find a different vocalist. So I don't know which story is true, but I thought both of those 2 stories kind of sound like what would happen in the music business. So I've never heard the Julie Rogers version of You Only Live Twice. I mean, I really like the Nancy Sinatra version. So I thought, hey, let's hear how Julie Rogers would have sounded at the beginning of the movie You Only Live Twice. Here we go.
You only live twice, no more than twice, and each life you live, you're playing with dice. The first game is love. Beware, it's nice. The second is death, whose courtiers entice you. You gamble with danger. You gamble with love. Each one is a stranger in a black velvet glove. And if you...
Okay, stop it right here a second. This has the flavor of the movie You Only Live Twice. It's got that kind of oriental musical instrumentation in it, and the movie takes place in the Orient. So that fits really well. I like Julie's voice in here. I think she sings it kind of in a deeper register, which I think is very important to do in a James Bond movie to give it a little bit more impact. But it kind of drags a little bit. I'm not, and it gets a little bit slow here, and I'm hoping that she explodes. I mean, she hit some really high notes as she was going along here, near right before I turned it off, and I thought that was kind of cool. But it doesn't have enough dynamics behind it. A James Bond song has to have a lot of dynamics, a lot of things that are just exciting. That makes you want to watch the movie, hear the song, and go, yeah, I got to hear that movie or watch that movie. This is kind of missing that, but I do like what I'm hearing. I mean, I like the song. Julie Rogers' voice is excellent on here, but it doesn't have that pizzazz that a James Bond song has to have. And I think that's the piece that might be missing and why they wanted to re-record this. So let's keep on going and see if we get that pizzazz in there yet.
And if you should lose, you'll pay the price. Good luck with the dice. You only live twice. You get
Okay, I like that. That was really good. I like it when they got into the refrain part with "You only live twice," and what I read is that was like the only line that they used from this original version of "You Only Live Twice" to the rewrite that was done by Nancy Sinatra. But I like that. But it still doesn't have like that explosion that it needs, that a James Bond song should have. So I'm gonna take it back a little bit to catch that again.
with the dice. You only live twice. You gamble with danger. You gamble with love. Each one is a stranger in a black velvet glove. And if you should lose, you'll pay the price. Good luck with the dice. You only live
That's pretty nice. I like it. I like it, but it just doesn't have the dynamics of what I think a James Bond theme song should have. That it's just missing. I mean, you listen to the song "Man with the Golden Gun," or "Live and Let Die," or even "Goldfinger." Those are just dynamic. You'd listen to it and you go, yeah, that's James Bond. This is a good song. Don't get me wrong. It is a good song. I mean, I really like the song. And I've never heard this before. This is the first time I heard it. But Julie Rogers, great vocals on this thing. But it just doesn't have the dynamics that a James Bond theme song should have. So I think this would be great as a standalone single, be played on the radio, but it doesn't have the fireworks in it that it needs for that. So I can see why, John Barry, if the first story I told was the true story, that he wasn't happy with the take, he wasn't happy with the lyrics, he wasn't happy with the instrumentation of the song, and wanted to rewrite it and do it over and give it a little bit more pizzazz. But otherwise, I thought it was great. I like I said, I've been watching this series on YouTube, and every time Julie Rogers comes on, she's fantastic. Great voice. She does a song called "Like a Child," which I believe was also a hit in the UK, and I just really like that song a lot. So Julie Rogers, coming from the UK, very popular in the UK in the '60s. Didn't really do anything over here. Had one hit, and that was pretty much it. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed Julie Rogers doing the original version of "You Only Live Twice," which was not used in the movie, but is now available on compact disc. It wasn't released at the time in the '60s when it was recorded. She recorded this in 1966, but it is now available on compact disc and probably download as well on a James Bond compilation. So if you enjoyed this, why don't you hit that like button? That'd be really, really cool. I'd appreciate that. If you have any comments about Julie Rogers doing the song "You Only Live Twice," put in the comments below. That'd also be really appreciated. Now I'm going to take a link to this video, which I thought was kind of a cool video. It's different stills of the movie flyers for "You Only Live Twice," and then different stills of Julie Rogers. So I'm going to take a link to this video, put in my description below. So all you got to do is pick on that link. It'll open up and it'll play for you, and I won't be stopping it this time. I'm also going to put a link to the channel that uploaded this video into my description below. You might want to check that channel out by clicking on that link. Now, have you subscribed to Driving with Todd? If you haven't, why don't you do it right now? You have my video open. Go below my video and hit that subscribe button, and you'll be making me very happy. If you go over here and ring the bell, you'll get updates to my latest videos. Yeah, I had to do this because I wanted to hear this song, and every time I come across a song I've never heard before, I thought, well, why don't we just do a Driving with Todd, and then we can share it with other YouTubers that have been watching my channel. So this put a big smile on my face. I'm hoping to put a big smile on your face, and peace out, baby.